Welcome to On Air with Russell of Hotels, where we talk about everything hospitality, from hotels to influencers and everything in between. We will feature guest interviews with hospitality professionals who will share their experiences. Your host, Russell Edmond, has spent over 25 years in the hospitality industry, beginning his career with Marriott International in hotel operations before moving into the sales arena and becoming a relationship building director of sales and marketing. Russell then went to the other side as a hospitality entrepreneur. He now consults in the hotel and meeting space, which includes being the CEO of Russell of Hotels Group. Did I mention he was a veggie foodie? Yes. Russell is always looking for good non-meat eats. Please welcome your host, Russell Edmond.
Woo! That was a good one. Hello, and thank you for joining On Air with Russell of Hotels Live Hospitality Talk Show. You know what? Every now and then, you just got to give yourself an applause. You know what I mean? So I figured I have the machine here to do it. So, why not do it, right? So anyway, thank you guys so much for joining On Air with Russell of Hotels Live Hospitality Talk Show. Today is Tuesday, November 15th. I appreciate you guys joining me. It is show number 183. And every time I mention the number of shows I've done, I just go back to someone telling me, what the average length of a podcast is, how many shows they normally go. And I say, what is that? They said it's 6. And I was just reminded last week or 2 weeks ago that there's now well over 2.5 million podcasts out there. But this is the thing. They're not all active. That's why the average only goes like 6 shows, right? Because they're not all active. People get frustrated with doing it, or they run out of stuff to talk about or whatever. I don't think I'll ever run out of stuff to talk about. So you don't have to worry about me. If I stop doing this because it's run its course and it's time to go. But I don't foresee that for a long time. So thank you so much for you guys supporting me, because I only do it because people support me, right? I don't just do it just because. I do it because I love the hospitality industry. It's been good to me, and people like what we talk about, or what I talk about, and the people that come on. So that's we. It's a collective effort. So thank you so much. Appreciate you. And let's move forward, right? So live today in LA, as you can see that on the scrolling thing. Let's see. What's going on? Connecting people and collaboration. Hashtag Hospitality Unplugged. So what does that all mean? Well, we connect people, we collaborate, right? And this is the thing about the podcast game or live hospitality talk show. You never know who you're reaching, right? So when I originally first started doing this, I look at my numbers or look at your metrics and see who you're reaching and what areas or what look at the map and say, well, where am I reaching, right? So, but it was all, LA, San Diego, San Francisco. Then it got a little broader. It went to Chicago, then to New York, then to Miami. And then it left the country, right? And then it goes to some of the Caribbean islands like Jamaica and the Bahamas, and then to South America, to Brazil and then over to Peru, and then across the pond to London. So we're all over the place now, right? New Zealand. So it's just interesting how that all works. So, but I do think, like I said, each and every person that listens, that has listened once, and maybe told some other people, I appreciate that. And just so you guys know that this is live. We're live on YouTube as well as LinkedIn. In fact, I think so. Let me just make sure, because earlier today I did a show and I didn't. Oh, there it is. Yep. There you go. So yeah, so we are live on LinkedIn and YouTube. You always have to, make sure that we are live on both, right? I'm a one-man show. So, every now and then you got to do everything, right? Or no, every now and then, all the time I have to do everything. So I just had to check just to make sure, because see, I have my laptop, I have my iPad, and I have my phone, right? So each one of them are showing different things. One is showing me, one has my notes, and then one has, if I wanted to see if I was live on LinkedIn, then that's what I would do. I look at the phone and see if, okay, yeah, there I am. Hey. So yeah, so I'm waving at myself, and then what I do is turn the sound down so, I can't hear the echo, right? So there's a lot of stuff that goes on. Hey, Dylan says Russell does not believe that Houston is the new LA. No, I hope not. Because when I go to Houston, I'm trying to get away from LA. I don't want it to be the new LA, Dylan. Okay, so when I go to Houston, which is quite often these days, I'm trying to leave LA behind. I'm trying to get a different vibe, right? So I don't need the LA vibe in Houston, or why would I even go? You know what I mean? So no, I do not believe that. Houston has a long way to go before it gets to be LA, and believe me, Houston does not want to be LA. Okay, there's only one LA. There's only one La La Land, right? We can't go to Houston and be in La La Land too. So, and in fact, it doesn't rain as much here as it does in Houston. In fact, today is a perfect 72-degree day. Okay, so for all the people that are, I hate it for you that you're in, some crappy weather and maybe snowing and raining and things like that. But just so you know, FYI, LA is 72 degrees, right? Sunny. Okay, but the low, I believe, is like 51 degrees or something like that. And for us, that's cold, right? So there you go. And just like Dylan made his comments, hey, I welcome and encourage your comments, right? So I'm very interactive, so encourage it. I encourage your engagement, your questions and comments. So if you have anything to add, please feel free. That's what we're here for. And that's where that connecting people and collaboration and hashtag Hospitality Unplugged comes in, because hashtag Hospitality Unplugged, we do whatever we want to do, right? Okay. It's over the top, right? This is hospitality is over the top, right? So we'll talk about everything, the good, the bad, the ugly of the hospitality industry. But you know what? Today is not going to be any bad, because I'm not going to talk about any bad. So I don't think so, but we'll see. We'll see. But anyway, show number 183. Oh, industry stuff. Well, this is real quick this is really not industry stuff. It's just kind of thanking some people today. This is more Russell of hotel stuff. Okay. So I'm going to thank two people specifically, Kelly Koa and Shelby Walker. Okay. So they were both guests on I started a new segment on same networks here. Network. Do we call YouTube and LinkedIn a network? Okay, let's just say that. Let's just say that. I'm getting in the mode of this is TV. Okay, so YouTube and LinkedIn network. Okay, so I'm doing another segment, right? It's called "Did You Choose Hospitality or Did Hospitality Choose You?" So basically, what it is, I interview people for about 20 minutes. Try not to go over that, and I ask them how they got in the industry. Basically, did you choose to come in? Meaning, did you go to school for this? Did you already have your sight set on being in the hotel or restaurant or hospitality industry? Or did you take a side job or a part-time job while you were in school or trying to find yourself or whatever, and found out it was actually a viable career choice for you, right? So, like I said, I think I've done 4 of these segments so far. And today, Friday, I did Shelby Walker. Okay, so she's Director of Sales and Marketing at Visit Concord, which is in California, up north in the East Bay. And then Kelly Koa, I did her today. She's in Europe. She's in Germany. She's in Nuremberg, Germany. Okay, so her getting into the industry was a little different. Okay, so she started off as a PBX operator, right, at a 1,000-room hotel. And you just imagine, she said it was 20 years ago. So could you imagine how that was 20 years ago with, the lack of technology 20 years ago? Now, technology's gotten better. But I can only imagine how that was being a PBX operator for an 1,000-room hotel back then. So she started off like a part-time job. And then now today, well, I'm not going to tell you what she is, because you need to listen to or watch. Did you choose hospitality or did hospitality choose you? With Shelby, I didn't mention anything, how she got in, because I want you guys to listen to it, because everybody's story, and I always say this, everybody's story is unique. No two people got in this industry alike. So Kelly and Shelby both different ways of getting into the industry. One came in hotels, one came in the CVB or DMO, the Destination Marketing Organization, or the old name is Convention and Visitors Bureau. Okay, and then several weeks ago, I did, Dylan was on there. He came in a different way. Victor Simmons came in a different way, and then Lauren Brown came in a totally different way. So we all came in, and if you throw me in there, different way than everyone else, right? So no two people came in the industry alike. So I'm just kind of highlighting or trying to highlight, people's careers, and then they can talk about themselves, right? So they can come on for 20 minutes and talk about themselves. So it's not like this show where it's a little bit more in depth and we have more time to talk about, what you do and what you're doing now and what brand you're working for and all that kind of the ins and outs of what you deal with on a daily basis. So this is the did you choose hospitality or did hospitality choose you? It's not like that. It's not that in depth. Like I said, it only goes about 15 to 20 minutes. Okay, and I always end the questions with, or the segment with, this one question. What advice would you give someone coming into the hospitality industry today? You know what I mean? You came in whenever, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago. What advice would you give for somebody coming in? And those answers are always different. So you got to check it out. So let me see what Dylan's saying now. He already addressed no, I don't believe Houston's the new LA. Okay. Inglewood Marketplace has snapbacks. What do I need Inglewood Marketplace for? Thank you very much. I appreciate that, but not interested. Thank you. I have somebody to do my ads. He's trying to be funny because the other day I was ranting about I had a guy that was doing my swag, right? My shirts and my hats. Well, the guy kind of fell off the map, right? And I'm like, well, I asked him to put an order in for some hats. Well, he needed to give me the proof first before I can even have him make them, right? And he hasn't got back to me yet. So I was ranting about this the other day, and of course, Dylan always has, a comeback. Okay, so he's saying I've never been to Inglewood Marketplace, just so you know. But other than, there's a lot of places that have snapback hats, and I don't need to go there to get them. But the thing with this guy, the guy delivered them to my house. That was it, and he took Cash App, right? So you can pay him. He dropped them off on my doorstep, and we're good, right? So I don't know what's going on with him, but I'm gonna have to check him. Just like you got to check people every now and then. You got to, especially if you got money and you're trying to give them money. Like, hey, all I need is this, right? You say you can deliver it, okay? But if you can't, then you got to find somebody else to do it. But it definitely won't be Inglewood Marketplace. But so that's that. So I did industry news. No more industry news. Let's see. What else? 3 things I always talk about. Be intentional. Make decisions and take action on what's important to you. Be you. I mean, you got to be you. You can't be no one else, right? So decisions, let me back up. Number 1, be intentional, make decisions, and take action on what's important to you. What's important to you? What's important to me is that people know that I do this show, right? That I talk about hospitality things, issues, or whatever's going on. Or just, have a platform for people to come on and say certain things or whatever. So that's one thing that I do. I'm very intentional about that, right? I mean, doing the show is intentional. I want to get out to people that, this industry is a viable industry and that, people need to take note about it and maybe pursue it, right? And of course, I'm going to share my experiences and things like that. And that's why I bring people on to share their experiences. No 2 people got in alike. So I'm very intentional about the show and the direction I think I want to go as far as hospitality and letting people know about hospitality. I see Paula C. What's up, Paula C? How are you? Paula C. Paula C is out there in Brazil. I appreciate you coming on. It's been a minute since we talked to you. So hello. Thank you for joining. I always love when Paula C comes on. Okay, so number 2, be you. You know what? A lot of people try to be somebody else. It's hard enough just to be yourself, right? So just be you, okay? Don't try to be someone else. Don't try to copy what's where someone else is doing or where they've been and all this kind of stuff. Just be you. Start with where you are, okay? That's the advice I always give people. wherever you are, that's where you start. Okay. Don't worry about where someone else is. They may be before you or ahead of you or behind you. Doesn't matter. Let's worry about you. Okay. We get so concerned about and wrapped up with what everybody else is trying to do, right? And social media doesn't help that out, right? Because you see things and people are posting things in real time, like, well, he's doing this or she's doing that. You know what? No. Start with where you are. Like I said, I always say this: done right, social media is a great tool. Done wrong, being inconsistent, yeah, social media is a mess, okay, and it can be a beast, okay, and I can understand how people get caught up in it. Well, I thank God I ain't one of them people, okay. I use it for communicating, doing this show, connecting with people on a global basis, and then you go from there, right? So just be intentional. Number one. Number two, be you. Number three, be represented. I mean, it's important to me that people see me do this, do shows like this, and talk about my experiences and all that kind of stuff, because it's important. There's someone behind me that's coming that looks like me, right? That may not see any representations anywhere else in this industry, but maybe from me. So it's important. Not that I'm saying that because you don't see representation, you shouldn't do it. You know what I mean? You should still do it, right? Whatever your passion is, whatever your goals are, you still need to do it, right? But like I said, my job, I think, is to, no, I don't think I know, is to let people know that Russell Edmond can do it, Russell of Hotels, but my real name is Russell Edmond. If he can do it, then I can do it too, right? So I'm going to do that too. He's doing a podcast. I'm just going to jump out on faith and do a podcast, because that's what I did, right? Didn't nobody come to me and say, you need to do this podcast, right? Or this is going to happen. And no, I just did it. I say, you know what? I think it's something I can do, and I think I got a lot to say, a lot to talk about, so I'm going to do it. And that's what I did. And Paula C says, all good here. Thanks. And you? Oh, I'm doing okay, Paula C. Thank you. Always great to watch your shows. Thank you, Paula C. I appreciate it. Paula C is all right. Paula C's been on the show. I've been on her show. She does a podcast as well, so make sure you follow Paula C. Paula Cat. I'm not even going to try to pronounce her last name. You sure inspire others. You know what? I try. I'm just, I just do the show and talk, and I do lives, and I just, hopefully I am, I appreciate that. I definitely do. So, but no, thank you. I appreciate that. Dylan says, I am going to make a Blythe giant giant desert drawing of you going with the alien ones. Okay. All right. Okay. We always got somebody that's got to be funny. Okay. Yes, I'm from Blythe, though. So for people that don't know, I am from Blythe, California, born and raised 18 years, right? And there's a lot of stuff. And Dylan does his research, right? So he does his research about what's going on in the desert and things like that. I don't know what the alien thing is talking about, but there's like Native American like artifacts and things like that a lot of people don't even know about, right? That are out in the desert area just past Blythe, right? And people don't realize that. And I always tell, and in fact, when I was in Blythe last, my mother had showed me, it's like a visitor's guide to Blythe. So I contacted the Chamber of Commerce and said, hey, can I get a copy of this, kind of like a visitor's guide that a lot of, cities have or destinations have? Because I'm interested to see how they're marketing it. Because to us up here, I'm in LA, and Blythe is about three hours and some change from Blythe, right, or from LA. I don't see things. People don't know where Blythe is. So I'm interested to see how they're doing. Are they just putting this out and hopefully somebody asks for it? I don't know. And if I can help anyway, that's what I'm here to do, right? So, I mean, if you guys see what I do, I post a lot of different stuff, right? So why not post stuff from the place I'm from if that's going to help them out, right? So that's what I'm all about. Stacy Edmond says they're called the Blythe am I going to say this right? Intangilos? Intagilos. Did I say that right? Blythe Intagilos. I think that's what he's saying. That was my brother, so he knows all. So in in Tagalog. I guess that's what he said. Yep, Stacey, I'm going to make a Russell and Tagalog to go with the others. Yeah, okay. You guys are getting silly now. Anyway, so yeah, so like I said, if I can help out that destination, meaning Blythe, with people coming there to see that there's some things out there, there's some sites out there that people can see and learn. I'm all for it. So, but I'm waiting to see what this guide looks like, and then I can know where to start. Maybe they got everything covered. I don't know, but maybe they don't. But I think that any destination, any hotel can use a little bit of help. Okay, that's just what I'm saying. So, but anyway, so those are three things. Make sure you be intentional, be you, be represented because your representation matters as well. Okay. How to buy a hotel. Now I'm going to do this for the rest of the year. How to buy a hotel because I'm all about, um, you know, um, brand recognition, and I'm recognizing Davon Reeves as a brand. In her book, How to Buy a Hotel: A Roadmap to Hotel Ownership. I have the book here. It's the most comprehensive book on buying a hotel. If you're interested in that, just interested in just learning about the steps or the process that one can go through to do that, I would say go ahead and buy it. It's not an expensive book and it's an easy read. So check it out. So tips to buying a hotel: location, location, location. That's important. It's not just in the middle of nowhere. Number two, the brand. That's important as well. You want it to be a brand that people can recognize because that's what it's all about, name recognition. So if I had the Russell Hotel, most people wouldn't even know what that is. Probably everybody would know what that is. Like, what is this Russell Hotel? What is that? What is it affiliated with? Who is it affiliated with? That's what a lot of people say. Well, is that a Marriott? Is that a Hilton? Is that a part of the Holiday Inn? Whatever. Is that a Hyatt? Whatever. They'll ask those questions. Not saying you cannot open a hotel with your own brand on it. You can. It's just a little bit harder, okay? Because that's uncharted territory for a lot of people, right? Although people have done it, I'm not saying they haven't, but there's a blueprint to the franchise hotels, right? So Marriott franchises, Hilton, Hyatt, everybody franchises, right? So, but they have a name on there, and people look for name recognition. Okay, so just remember that, and then hiring the right operator. Do you want to operate it yourself? Because I know people that do that. They operate their own hotel. They live on property. They never leave their business, and that's fine too, right? But if you want to hire someone like a third-party management company, there's a lot of management companies out there, and it's definitely not one size fits all. So you definitely have to do your homework. And part of this book tells you that as well. What things should you consider? Do you need someone to hold your hand? Are you familiar with going over P&Ls for a hotel and things like that? Probably not if you're buying one for the first time. So, and you don't have hotel experience. So you may want to have a management company that maybe doesn't have 1,000 hotels, that they have to manage, right? Or 100 hotels. Maybe you go with a small one. Maybe it only has 50 hotels that they manage, and they give you that one-on-one service that you would need in order for you to get comfortable with, all the things that you need as far as being a hotel owner. Because being a hotel owner is not like working in a hotel, and it's definitely not like just staying at a hotel, right? And you definitely most people wouldn't be able to buy a hotel that you stay in. Okay, I mean, if you're staying, I stay at it's a 4-diamond Marriott hotel downtown LA. Well, more than likely you wouldn't be able to afford one of those because that's going to be in the $100 million range, right? Now, but there's a lot of hotels that are select service or limited service hotels like your Hilton Garden Inns, or things like that are basically $3-4 million, right? So, but the book tells you all that. So I don't want to go into all that. So 1, location, location, location. 2, the brand. 3, hiring the right operator. That's important. So Dylan says most hotels plan in the U.S. right now. Dallas, most hotels at opening stage in New York. Okay, very good. Thank you for that information. So yeah, so there you'll be surprised what's for sale and what's not. But you don't know unless you are in that and you're trying to find a hotel. So, and I read this thing interesting just a little while ago. It had to do with Airbnbs. Like people bought a lot of these Airbnbs because they were going to get rich, and and that was going to be the new wave. Well, there's a lot of Airbnbs they're just basically sitting empty because that demand is not there anymore, right? So, or certain markets there's not a lot of demand. But and the same person said the investment you should be making is in hotels, right? Not in Airbnbs. Because remember, Airbnbs are inconsistent, right? Hotels at least have standards, right? Airbnbs, because it goes from one owner to the next, they're inconsistent, okay? And you can tell I'm not a big fan of Airbnb, okay? Because I'm not, all right? And I've been very vocal about that because they have a practice that's not good. I mean, the owners can practice discrimination at their own whim. And you know what, you can, there's a check-in time, and they can cancel your reservation up to the time up to the day you're supposed to check in. And I don't think that's cool at all. So no, I'm not a fan. I have used one before, and it did come in handy. But for that particular situation, it worked well. But I'm not a fan, and I've never been a fan. It just happened to work that one time. So there you go. Now you know how I feel about that. But anyway, who is your best brand advocate? You are. If you're not excited about what you're doing, about your brand, who else is going to be excited about it? If you're not that advocate, or you're not trying to be that face of your brand, then why are you doing it? Okay, you have to advocate for your brand. Be your best advocate. And sometimes we got to be that face of that brand, right? And it's okay to do that. I was saying something to a couple people. Paula says, ha, ha, ha. Okay. I just happened to look over at my phone. Sorry. But a couple weeks ago, I was having a conversation with somebody about being it was last week. It was Shelby. It was Shelby Walker, right? Director of Sales and Marketing at the Visit Concord CVB. Okay. So I was telling her that salespeople need to be synonymous with their brands. And I'm speaking specifically hotel, CVBs, that's what I'm speaking, tourism, DMOs, okay, whatever your brand is, it starts with you, right? And I have to say this all the time, but I'm saying it again, okay? All right, bear with me. So who's your best brand advocate? Okay, so say I'm Russell and I have this company called Russell of Hotels. Well, hopefully when you hear about Russell of Hotels, you think about Russell Edmond. And when you meet me and you say, oh, that's Russell Edmond, he has a company called Russell of Hotels, right? That's synonymous, okay? That's two brands that work together. They're interchangeable. It doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter what you say, you think about the other thing, right? So what I was telling Shelby, or what, the conversation we're having, I said, our salespeople, meaning hotel, DMOs, CVB, tourism, whatever, need to have that same attitude when it comes to being their best brand advocate. They need to they need to aspire to be synonymous with their brand, okay? So when I think of Visit Concord, who do I think of? I think of Shelby Walker. When I think of Shelby Walker, oh, she works with Visit Concord, okay? So, and I also mentioned this to, who was that? I don't know if I mentioned it to her. I can't even think of what I was going to say now. So I'll come back to that. But make sure that you're synonymous. So wherever you work, whatever brand you represent, you need to be synonymous with that. And you need to put it out there, right? You need to put it out there and let people know, this is what I do. This is who I represent. Veronica with Visit San Diego, right? It's the same thing. Veronica Rivera, okay? Veronica Rivera, that's what I was trying to think of. She's the same way, right? When I think about Visit San Diego, I think about Veronica. When I think about Veronica, oh, she reps Visit San Diego. I mean, it's just like that. I mean, she's synonymous with that brand, just like Shelby is synonymous with Visit Concord. So those are the things that we need to aspire. And those two people don't mind being on social media. They don't mind posting things, right? And that's where we need to learn from those two ladies, okay? That it's okay to put your brand out there, meaning you first, you representing your brand, okay? That's how we should be doing it. That's what you should aspire to be. That's just what I think. What do you guys think about that? No one's saying anything about that, right? people will say some silly stuff, but no one wants to think about that, okay? Or no one wants to make comments on that. I don't know, but that's okay because I'm going to continue on. This is a quote. So I do these quotes every week, and sometimes they're the same quote, but this one I changed up today, okay? It's not about the site tour. It's about who's doing the site tour. Let me read that again. Let me so it can percolate and marinate. It's not about the site tour. It's about who's doing the site tour. So, okay, I'm a hotel site selection person, right? I have a hotel site selection company. Okay, so I represent companies and organizations, even some individuals, with finding hotels for their meetings, for their conventions, their conferences. You know, I've done 10 rooms on peak to 650 rooms on peak. Okay, that's kind of a convention kind of thing, right? Or a big meeting. So, but anyway, when you're in the process of trying to select the hotels, you get invited to do these site tours, right? So you go and you do a site inspection or a site tour. Okay, so you go to a hotel and there's someone that shows you around, right? If they have 10 different types of rooms, they'll show you 10 different types of guest rooms. They have meeting space, they'll show you all their meeting space. They have a restaurant, they'll show you that rooftop lounge. Okay, they're going to show you that. They're going to show you all the good things about this hotel and how it can enhance your experience for your group. Okay, that's basically what this is there for, right? Well, we all been on site tours. One site tour is just like all the rest. The difference is, I mean, you may go do different things, but a room's a room, meeting space, meeting space. It can be bigger, it can be smaller, right? It can be decorated differently or whatever, but most hotels have the same thing. Only thing they do not have is that person that's doing the site tour or the site inspection, okay? That's the difference, okay? So that's what this means. It's not about the site tour because you can get a site tour anywhere. It's about that person who's doing it. Are they experienced? Are they engaging? Are they, are they fun? Are they, make you laugh? Are they engaging? Did I say engaging, right? Are they all those things, right? Are they excited about their job? Can you tell that they love the brand that they represent? Those are the things that that resonate with me. And like, okay, I like this because she's answering all my questions. She knows this property, inside and out. She's showing us good stuff. She's telling us things, how this can benefit our group, this kind of, she's not showing me things I don't want to see, or he's not showing me things that I don't want to see, or I don't need to see. This is all the things that I need to see, because every group doesn't need to see everything in a hotel. Okay. So if I'm a 50-room group and I have, I only need space for 50 people, why I need to see the space to get for 1,000 people? I don't need to see that, right? Because this particular group, this is all I need to see. All right. I don't need to be confused with all the big space. Okay. So why I need to see that? All right. So just remember to tailor it. People that do sales tours or sales site inspections, tailor it for your client. Don't just throw stuff out there just because we have it. I'm gonna show it to you. No, let's don't do that. Okay. Because people's time, you got to remember, people's time is valuable. They don't have time to go through a lot of, the whole dog and pony show. All right. Now, if they're taking up all your space, then yeah, I understand that. But if I'm a small group, I don't need to see every single thing, every inch of that hotel. Okay. Because people do that. And some people are not enthusiastic about it. They're showing rooms. And make sure, I always tell my salespeople this, when I worked in hotels, and because this happened to me, right? I walk in, I'm showing a client of mine, a room, and the room is occupied. I'm like, it wasn't occupied like 15 minutes ago, but stuff happens. So make sure, my advice, always, whatever path you're going to take to take your client to show him or her the layout of your hotel, your rooms, your restaurant, whatever, make sure you walk that same path to make sure there's nothing inconsistent, there's nothing in the way, there's no dirty dishes, there's none of that stuff, okay? Move that stuff out of the way, all right? So I always made sure before my client came in, so if I have a 10 o'clock appointment, you got to believe by about 9 o'clock, I'm walking that space to make sure that room is still clean, that that area that I'm walking, the path I'm going to take is clean as well, and everything is consistent, okay? Because I don't want any surprises. That's the last thing I want. I got burned like one time. I said that'll never happen to me again because I'm gonna make sure I check. Make sure your keys work. Okay. Sometimes we get up there and the keys don't work. Well, these were the showrooms from yesterday. Well, maybe the key wasn't set, for the whole week or whatever. I don't know. Or maybe that room got checked into and that room got sold. There's a lot of things that can happen, but it's up to us as salespeople to do our job, right? So it's not about the site tour. It's about who's doing it and how prepared they are, how enthusiastic they are, how excited they are, how engaged they are. That's what it's all about. Boom. So that's what that quote means. Okay. Lonnie Wolf is in the house strong. Hey, Lonnie Wolf. I see it. Haha. All the dirt. Yes. Dylan says, good day, Lonnie. Nice shout out both. Okay. Lauren. Okay. Very good. Very good. Dylan Bowman, include you. I don't know what that means, but anyway, increase social media engagement. Okay. How do you increase social media engagement? That's a good question, Russell. How do you do that? Well, consistency is one, right? You got to be consistent. I post a lot. So if you guys follow me, if you don't follow me you follow me at least on two platforms because you're watching me from one of them. So YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook. Okay. Make sure you be consistent. So if you're posting and those are your platforms of choice, make sure you stay consistent and make sure don't just post to one platform. You can do the same whatever posting or a story or whatever, do that same thing on the other platforms. Okay. It's okay, right? It's not against the law. It's not against the rules because you got to remember everyone doesn't watch or everybody is not on Instagram. Everybody that's on Instagram is not on, LinkedIn. Everybody's on LinkedIn is not on YouTube. Everybody's on YouTube, not on Facebook. So just remember that. Because you reach different people, a different audience if you cross promote, if you will. So show some of the other platforms the love. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say. So be consistent, but be consistently using other platforms. Because you don't want to just use one platform because your client base may not come from that one platform. Okay, you just don't know. Dylan says, Russell, what has your most viewed video been? I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know. That's a good question though. But on what? What do you mean? Just in general, like my most viewed video? It probably would have something to do with food. Certain things on social media, certain things resonate with people. Hotel and food. I did a video. I don't know if I did a short or reel. It was a reel, and it was a donkey delivering beer. Okay, people just go crazy for that. Animals and beer. Okay, those go together, hand in hand. A donkey that's delivering beer. All right, there you go. So, yeah. So it just depends on what it is. So the crazier the stuff is, of course you're going to get a lot more viewers on there, right? So. But always try to keep it within, I still try to keep things within hospitality, right? So if I'm showing something crazy, like I said, I mean, it wasn't crazy that the donkey had a pack of beer on him. That wasn't crazy. I didn't think it was. It was within the theme. It was in Tucson, and we had a Mexican buffet, and we had Coronas and all that. In fact, the donkey's name was Corona. At least that's what they said he was, because the next day, the same donkey was at another hotel, but he had those Eckies, you know what I mean? So they called him Eckies. So I'm like, wait, it's the same donkey. It looked like the same donkey to me, but they changed the name, and he's serving different beer today. So, and one day it was a boy, and the next one it was a male, and then the next one was a female donkey. I'm like, wait a minute. So, but yeah, so you got to be I try to stay within, like I said, if I'm hospitality based, that's why I try to stay within. But like a donkey delivering beer, I think that's great, right? So anything like that would be something that would take notice, and you would get more views because it's different than everybody else. Everybody's not posting a donkey on their videos, okay? So you got to look at it like that. So to answer your question, the ones that get the most viewership or the most views would be things like that, like one-offs. But like I said, just my advice: stay within what you're talking about, the hospitality, and then go from there. So whatever your specialty is, whatever area of expertise is, stay within that. Okay, Dylan says that's cool. You do some nice clips. I remember that vegan Italian bro. Yes, niche restaurant. You said it's very good vision. Yes, 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 yes. That's the meatballs. Brothers Meatballs. Brothers Meatballs is really good. Maybe yeah. Brothers Meatballs. That has to be. Oh my God! Thank you for saying that, Dylan. Now you're making me hungry. But yeah, that has to be one of the best places that I've ever eaten because the meatballs are they're meatless, but you would never know. And that's probably the closest thing to the real thing as I've ever had, I think. So if you're ever in Hollywood, it's called Brothers Meatballs. It's only open. It opens like 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. at night. And I want to say it's on Sunset. Sunset. I want to say it's on Sunset. Yeah, it is very good. I mean, all the Italian food there is good. I've had like an eggplant parmesan, which is really good. But everything is vegan. Okay, just remember that everything is vegan. But it is dope. I'm telling you. So thank you, thank you again for saying that, Dylan. I tell what's going to be crazy when Dylan and I crash the ROH family reunion. Yeah, okay. Credit for them. They're probably looking in the error to get a vegan meatball that means. Yeah, I don't know how they did it, but it is darn good. Okay, so yeah, so if you're ever there, check it out. So anyway, increase social media engagement. Be consistent. Whatever be consistent on what you're. See, these people got me off track. Be consistent whatever you're posting. Make sure you're consistent. Add value. Make sure it's resonate with somebody. Okay. Does the donkey resonate with somebody and the beer? Heck yeah, it does. That's why I got so many views, right? So people love animals and people love beer, okay, and people love parties. So it was out by the pool at the Casino del Sol Resort in Tucson. Okay, I was there a couple weeks ago. So so we had a poolside party. You know, hotel people always. And the caption I put was, "This is what we missed." You know, during COVID and everything, and hotel people weren't able to go out and meet people. Hotel and meeting people and meeting. What am I trying to say? Hotel people, tourism people, and then meeting professionals. Okay, they all get together and they have these events, right? It was Destination West in Arizona. That was the event that we were attending. But we always have a what do you call it? An evening function or the opening reception. Okay, so that's what that was, and it was by the pool, and that's what the donkey was with the beer. Okay, but they had other drinks too. They had food. They had everything. But of course, when a donkey comes in, someone pulling a little donkey and with beer on it, people are going to go around it. They want to take pictures with it, all that kind of stuff. So it's not just he wasn't just there working. He was, taking pictures with people too. So, but anyway, so yeah, so those things and that add value to people, right? I get a beer and I get to take a picture. Okay, so that adds value to someone. And the people that are watching this video or seeing the video, they're like, "Oh, that's cool. Oh, wow." People are like, "Well, how do I get a donkey at my next party?" I don't know. But anyway, so consistency, value, authentic. Now, you can't be no more authentic than that, right? I wasn't making it up. I was there. I saw it. I took a picture of it. Okay. I actually did a video. Okay. So be you. So whatever that is, that's things that I would do. Everybody wouldn't take a picture of the donkey. Okay. Or take a picture with it. Okay. So make sure whatever you're doing is authentic. And I always say this, the way you are in real life should be the same way you are on social media. So you should be the same person, right? But people will change. They're one way. And you see this all the time, right? Someone sitting in front of a car with a stack of $100 bills, right? Yeah, right. That's your life. Come on now. No, that's not everybody's life, okay? There may be some people that's their life, but I guarantee you a lot of that stuff when they're showing all that money is that movie money, right? That fake money, movie money. They're like, ain't nobody got that kind of money. And who's going to be doing all that? Okay, so, but anyway, just be you, be authentic, don't be fake, okay? And because people, some people look at that as being, okay, this is serious. And, oh, Russell got all this money. Well, let me follow him home one day, and see this for sure if he got all this money. Because if he got it, I'm going to take it. So remember what you're putting out there, right? Be safe, on social media, right? Don't just put stuff out there that's crazy. Okay. So, like I said, if this is how you are in real life, then okay, but you ain't got to show everybody everything, right? This is how I am in real life. This is me. Although I'll tell you this right now, this backdrop is not my house. Okay. So this is a backdrop that came with that I made up. Okay. So it's not me, but it looks good though, right? But you got to remember, I'm in Hollywood too, right? So you got to, fake the funk every now and then. But no, if this is faking it, then okay, this is okay, right? But no, this is actually not my office. This is my chair though. See the chairs going back and forth? That's my chair, but it's not my office. It's just a good backdrop, right? Because what I have on black, it blended better with the other backdrop. Okay, so there you go. So how do you increase your social media engagement? Be consistent, add value, be authentic, your authentic true self. People always say that. Why do people always say, oh, be your authentic self? I'm like, I don't need to hear all that crap. Okay, now that you're your authentic self, what tools do you use? I use stories, reels, and lives. Okay, before I just put the stories on there today, right? Because somebody reminded me, I was talking to somebody that happened to be younger than I was, right? And he said, "Hey, you should use more stories." I'm like, you're probably right. I just don't use them as often as I should. But as stories get more engagement because people don't have. Okay, let me just say this: if your videos are shorter, because people are in the short form videos now, right? So all the social media platforms are all into short form videos. So anything less than a minute, okay. The stories are like, I don't know, 15 to 20 seconds or something like that. So if you notice some of the videos I do are like less than 40 seconds now. I don't even want to go up to a minute. I want to be like 40 seconds, 20 to 40 seconds, okay. So I'll do little snippets of things now. So I'll take that full video and cut it down, right? And you can do that easily on Instagram, right? You can cut those videos down to and I look at it and I say, oh, I want each segment to be like 5 seconds. So that's 15 seconds. So I got 3 segments. That's 15 seconds. Boom, done. Put a logo at the end. You always want to throw your logo at the end, right? That can be another 5 seconds. So, okay, 20 seconds. Boom. That's under the 40 that I want to get, right? And you can do that all day long. And then that same thing that you did for a reel, you can do that as a story. See, so that's using your things that you've already done, so you don't have to recreate something for your stories. Okay, so you can do a reel, and like I said, and do that same video as a story. So that's what I do. And then I do lives, right? I do lives for 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. And sometimes I have people come on with me, like today, Kelly Koa out there in Nuremberg, Germany. She came on and we talked a little bit about what's going on in Germany and the weather and all this kind of stuff. She's like, she should work for the CVB, the stuff that she was telling me that I had no knowledge of, things that they do for Christmas, this big marketplace that they have that people from around the world come to. I had never even heard of it. So, and she mentioned something called glue wine. I'm like, what is glue wine? It's like warm wine, right? They heat it up, like warm it up. It's wine that they warm up, and because it's cold there, and people walk around drinking warm wine, and they be toe up, is what she said. I'm like, wow, okay, I didn't know you did that. Because I was like, warm wine? I said, like room temperature wine? She said, no, they warm it up. I'm like, okay, who knew? So it's called glue wine. I said, okay, all right, Kelly Koa, tell me something. So yeah, so those are tools to use for. I use stories, reels, and lives. Who's hiring? Did I do this? Okay. Oh my goodness. Hold on one second. Let me get to. And I'm starting to sniff, which means there's something that I'm allergic to around here. As long as I don't start sneezing, I'll be good. So hold on one second. There you go. Okay. So Who's hiring? Highgate Hotels. They're looking for HR coordinator. That means human resource coordinator in LA. So I'm not sure which hotels that would be at, but Highgate Hotel. And these are all on H Careers, hcareers.com. Okay. Hotel Per La. I guess it's Per La or Per LA, PERLA. Okay, Hotel Per LA. Let's just say that. They're looking for a rooftop restaurant manager. Now that's a new hotel, new independent hotel, boutique hotel downtown LA. So check that one out. Nami Eats. You know what? Excuse me. I'm into this Ike's sandwiches in Culver City. I went there again on Friday, and man, those sandwiches are good. It's like Subway on steroids, okay? So if you say Subway, you like Subway, and Subway's okay, right? But this is like a gourmet sandwich, okay? But then it's vegan, right? So you can, the same stuff that they have for regular, like if you want pastrami, well, they got vegan pastrami. They got vegan chicken. They got vegan turkey, okay? They got like a Parmesan, like a eggplant Parmesan, but they got vegan Parmesan cheese. So anything there, any sandwich there, they can veganize it. That's what I'm talking about. So Ike's, I've been on this Ike's tip. Excuse me while I take a drink of water. So thank you very much for that. I just took a swallow of water for the people that are listening to it on the podcast. So yeah, Ike's sandwiches. I know there's other Ike's other places, so I guess it's a chain. But there's one. The nearest one to me is one in Culver City, and when I mean that stuff is good, that stuff is good. And I got a new one the other day. I don't think I had probably like 20 different sandwiches, right, for me. And man, I can't think of what it was called, but it had chicken. It was like fried chicken, but it was vegan chicken, right? And it has this kind of sauce. Oh man, just you got to go try it. Go try Ike's and let me know what you think. Okay, they got like steak, they got chicken, they got turkey, they have the eggplant, they got everything. So just think of a sandwich and they can veganize it. You know, now I'm going off. Now I'm like, I'm hungry again. Okay, so there you go. But yeah, so that's my non-meat eats. And did I go through who was hiring? I don't know if I did or not. Yeah, it was only two, right? Okay, so there you go. Sometimes I lose track of what I'm doing. What I do, I'm a hospitality personality. As you can tell, I'm a personality, right? You got to have a personality to do these kind of things, right? So I'm a hospitality personality, but I have a wealth of experience in the hotel. So I'm not just a personality who knows nothing about just making up stuff as he goes along. No, I have. I always say between 25 and 30 years because I don't want people to try to figure out my age as one, and then two, I forget. Is it 25, 30 years? I don't know. It's somewhere in between there because I left the industry for a couple years. So that's why I say 25 to 30. I'm going to say it's probably about 30. I'm going to say 30. Now, if you count the stuff that I've been doing, yeah, let's just say 30 years. If you count the consulting that I do now as a hospitality personality, yeah, it's been 30 years. Let's just say that. So, and also I do content creating for people within the hospitality space, hotels, restaurants, tourism boards, things like that. Hotel site selection specialist, so I assist companies, organizations, I mentioned this a little while ago, with finding hotels for their groups, 10 rooms to 650, or even more than that. I'm just telling you that's what I've done. But it doesn't matter. Once you hit 600 rooms on peak, it don't matter. You can go to 1,000, 10,000. It doesn't matter. So it just depends on you. Let's see. So those are three things that I do. What are you doing to keep your brand relevant? That's a question for you. So what are you doing to keep your brand relevant? Now, I do this show, I do lives, I do posting because I don't want you to forget about Russell of Hotels, right? And what Russell of Hotels does or what Russell of Hotels stands for. So that's what I do. So what do you do? You know, let me know. I mean, you have to let me know if you don't want to. But one other thing that I do, and I forgot to say this, and it's just something that started just the other day. I've started to do sales training for a general manager. So a general manager didn't have any sales experience in the hotel space. I'm doing the training. I developed this training program. Someone asked me if I could do it, and from there I developed the training program or things to go over. And what I learned is that you meet people where they are, right? So And so I asked this guy exactly how much experience or what, his past experience. Find out that he does have some sales experience. It's just not in the hotel space. But the experience that he has is transferable. So always remember that some of the skills that we have from other industries, it is transferable over to this space as well, right? But I identified that, which told me I didn't have to go through everything, right? I can meet him where he was, and then we can go from there. So there you go. So add that to it. So I got to add that for next week, right? Hotel training or sales training for general managers. Boom. There you go. So what was I saying? Keep your brand relevant. I already said that, right? So whatever you're doing, keep your brand relevant. If that means postings, if that's reaching out and shouting to people, I don't know. Walk around with a sign that says, I'm trying to keep my brand relevant. That'd be a good T-shirt, right? I'm trying to keep my brand relevant. Russell Hotels. Oh, I just came up with that one. That's just off the top of this, right? So, okay, 3 P's. We're down. We're almost done here. 3 P's. Purpose, passion, perseverance. Know why you're doing what you do, okay? Always know why you're doing what you do. I know why I do what I do, right? I know what I do on air with Russell Hotels. I know why I do did you choose hospitality or did hospitality choose you? I know why I do the lives Monday through Friday, and I know why I post, okay? So I know why I do those things, right? It's to keep people abreast of me, let people know what I do and what I can do to help them, right? So that's my purpose, and as well as I just have a passion for the industry, okay? So that leads into the passion part. Number 2 is passion. Either you have it or you don't, right? If I didn't have it, you would be able to see it, right? Because I come across people all the time that they work in the hospitality space, but they ain't got a passion for it. So what do I tell them? I don't tell them anything. But what I'm gonna say in general, if you don't have a passion for whatever you're doing, don't do it. Find something else that you're passionate about. Why waste time? So there you go. And then perseverance. Be consistent. Continue to evolve. Don't give up, and swerve when you need to. Okay. So remember, on air with Russell Hotels, we swerve. We don't use the P word. We don't pivot. We swerve, okay? So just remember, be consistent, continue to evolve. Don't give up, and swerve when you need to. Okay, so, and in closing, almost closing, I'm going to address this one question that Dylan has, but follow me on LinkedIn, okay? If you don't follow me yet, follow me there, as well as IG, Instagram, and on YouTube. And make sure you subscribe to the channel, okay? I need people to subscribe. I've changed up everything. In fact, what's his name? The MJ of hotels. Bruce Jordan. I talked to him the other day, and I was asking him about, hey, I was telling him about my problem. Well, I don't have a lot of subscribers, so he told me what to do. So I've been cutting up videos, right, that I've done, long videos, and cut them up into like bite-sized pieces, right? And then doing more shorts on YouTube, right? So that's what I'm doing. So that's something that he identified that I was doing wrong. So I said, well, let me just try to do that. So that's what I've been trying to do. So I'm trying to grow my followers, my subscriptions on YouTube. So make sure, please, you guys go to YouTube and just click the little subscribe button. Go to my channel first, Russell of Hotels, and just click the little ping. So every time I go live, you'll see, oh, Russell live. Let me go check him out. What is he talking about? So, and that's at Russell of Hotels. And then my email is Russell at Russell of Hotels. But you can always DM me. Just slide into my DMs, if you will. And then check me out on russellofhotels.com. That's my website, okay? So once again, I want to thank you guys for joining. I just want to read this one. Dylan says, thoughts on Saturday's Rose Bowl game, UCLA versus SC. I don't know what's going on with UCLA, but SC. I would go with SC. And then Lonnie Wolf says, here's the deal. I will try to show you the dirt, the ugly, to include the best results in cleanliness, safety, and presentation for our amazing hospitality industry. Yes, follow Lonnie too, because Lonnie is big on cleanliness in hotels, and we need a lot more help on cleanliness. I don't know why, what's going on, but we need to do a better job. Okay, and Lonnie is helping hotels, helping helping clean hotels one hotel at a time. Okay, or one issue at a time. So thank you, Lonnie. Thank you, Dylan. Thank you, Stacy. Thank you, Paula C. I want to thank you guys for all joining in, and for the people that didn't come on and that happen to be listening or watching at a later time on the replay, which is on LinkedIn, YouTube, and will be on Facebook as well. Okay, so make sure it doesn't matter if you listen to it live or watch it live. And thank you for the people on the podcast. I appreciate you guys as well. So if you're interested in just listen to the podcast, feel free to just Google On Air with Russell of Hotels, and wherever your favorite podcast is, it will be there. Okay, there you go. That's it. That's all I got. Thank you for watching show number 183. I do appreciate you guys coming on. You guys have a great day, great week. It's Taco Tuesday. I got a big pot of beans on too, so I got to go check them. So you guys take care. Peace.
Thank you for joining On Air with Russell of Hotels. Please tune in every Tuesday at 1 p.m. as we talk to other hospitality professionals. Your feedback is important to Russell. Feel free to email him at russell@russellofhotels.com with any questions or suggestions. Until next time, try not to be a person of success. Rather, become a person of great value.